Okay, so we're going to start here. We're going to open up Procreate. Once we're open, we're going to come over here to the right-hand top corner and click on the plus sign. And then we're going to create a new canvas. So we're going to hit this black button right up there. And the standard size for the 20-ounce skinny tumblers is 2790 by 2460 pixels, which I believe translates to 9.3 inches by 8.2 inches, but you want to use it in these pixels. These are nice even numbers. This is where we want to enter this information in. 2790 by 2460 is what you should have there. And make sure you're on pixels right here. So get those. And then for color profile, not color profile, canvas properties, I like to use black as my background color because it's easier on my eyes, I think. So I'm choosing black here, and then I'm going to do create. That creates a new little entry down here for you, but you're not going to really use that. What you're going to end up doing is once we make this document into what I think of as a template, they don't really have templates here, but I consider this a template. What you're going to do is you're going to create this document, and then each time you want to create a new design, you're going to just go and you're going to select that design and you're going to duplicate it each time, but not yet because we haven't set it up right yet. So first of all, you're going to go ahead and create that new document. We're going to get back into this 2790 by 2460, and we're going to use two fingers to shrink your screen a little bit. And then we're going to come over here to the layers menu and click on this. It looks like pages. And then you're going to click on the layer. And then you're going to click on, okay, I like to have it as white. So make sure you have like white. I guess it really doesn't matter what color you're using right now, but I'd like you to use white. On layer, we're going to click here and we're going to click on fill layer. And then we're going to click on the arrow. Then we're going to carefully make sure you don't knock things around because you don't want to change the alignment, and you can throw things off by a pixel if you're not careful. So on the right hand top corner, you're going to click this little dot. You're going to, right here where it says 2790, we are working with quadrants, and so I need the whole document to be divided into fourths. So I'm doing select. Oh goodness, what am I doing? I filled the layer. Now I'm going to come over here and click the arrow tool, and then I'm going to come over here to the right hand corner and click that dot. And 2790, if we divide that in half, that's 1395. I'm leaving this little chain highlighted in blue, and that keeps it proportional. And at some point we will undo that. We won't use that part. But right now we want it to be 1395. So once I get that, I come back over here to the layers menu again, click on it, and then click select. And then down here at the bottom, this menu comes up. See the little thing at the very bottom of the screen? We were going to click save and load, and then we're going to click the plus sign to add a new layer. So that's going to be our upper right hand quadrant. You're going to come over here again to the layers menu. You're going to click on that again and fill layer. Sorry, you might have to do it a couple of times because I didn't have it the way I had it selected. You're going to come over here and fill layer. You want it to fill up the screen again. If it doesn't fill up the screen, you're not doing something. You need to do it again. And once we fill the layer, we're going to come over here and hit the arrow, and then we're going to come to the bottom right-hand corner and click that little dot in the bottom right-hand corner. And in that same box we adjusted a minute ago, we're going to type in 1395 again. 1395 is your new number for a few minutes, okay? So after that does that, we're going to go back to the layers menu, click on that layer, select it, click save and load, and click add. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to click on the shape tool so that it releases it. Okay. Then we're going to come over here to the layer tool, click on that layer, click fill layer, We're going to click on the arrow. We're going to click on the upper left-hand top corner. And over there, in the same place, we're typing in $13.95. Once it does that, we're coming back over here to layers. Gonna hit select that layer, save and load at the bottom, add again. And then you're gonna hit that S tool again, so it unhighlights everything. Then you're gonna come back over here to layers, click the layer, click fill layer, come over here to the arrow tool, bottom left-hand corner. Oops, did you see that? See, you could accidentally throw yourself off a little bit doing stuff like that. So you got to really make sure doesn't do anything. So if you ever do something like that, you can do a 3-fingered swipe if you have it set up to erase. You can do a 3-layer swipe, and I'm going to fill that layer again because I want to make sure I did not knock it off at all. You want to be very careful on this part. So I've got that. I filled that layer again. I'm clicking the arrow. I'm coming back down here, bottom left-hand corner, where it says $27.90, I'm changing it to $13.95. It shrinks down that box proportionally. Come back over here to the layers menu, click on the layer, click select, click save and load, and click add. So now we've got the 4 quadrants added, but we're going to keep going because we're using those. You can get away with just doing standard drops with those 4 corners, but there are other kinds of designs I like to do, like your half drop patterns and brick drop, and you'll need these additional little boxes set up if you're going to do those, and we might as well set them up now, and that way you'll have them ready whenever you want to use them. You'll find other reasons to use them at some point, I bet. So coming back over here to the layers menu, and going to fill that layer again, and click the arrow, and over here on the right hand side, on the side this time instead of a corner, we're still going to type in the same number, but before we do that, we want to unclick this little link so that it's no longer blue. What that does is it does not do things proportionally. It's going to leave this number the way it is, and it's only going to affect this number. If this is clicked, it does both of them proportionally, but we want it unclicked. We're going to come to $27.90. We're going to change it to $13.95, and you'll notice that it narrows it makes a column now that's $13.95 wide and it left the 2460 height of the entire column there. So now it does that. We're going to come over here to the menu again, over to the layers menu, and click on the layer, click on select, and click on save and load, and click add. And now we're going to click the shape tool with that S tool over here to unhighlight it. We're going to go back over here to the layers menu, click it again, fill layer, arrow tool. Now the left-hand side, middle, right there, we're going to unhighlight the selection tool. I'm sorry, not selection tool. We're going to unhighlight the chain, the proportionate symbol that keeps it locked. Okay, we're going to unlock that, and then we're going to type in $13.95 here. Then we're going to come back over here to the layers menu, click it, click select, click save and load, click add, click the shape tool again. We've got 2 more of these to do. And these other ones, we're going to create horizontal ones. Those are the verticals, but now we're going to create horizontals. So we're going to go back over here to layers, click on it, fill layer. After you click fill layer, you're going to come up here and click the select tool. You're going to click the top dot. You're going to click the box on the right this time. We're changing this. So over here, we're going to click that 2460, and we're going to unhighlight that link, whatever you call it, that keeps it proportionate. So where it says 2460, you want to think half of 2460, and that's 1230. So we're going to type in 1230. And then we're going to come back over here to layers, click it, click select, save and load, and add. After we do that, we're going to go back to the shape tool, go back over to the layers menu, click it, fill layer, Okay, click the arrow tool. Use your 2 fingers to grab the screen and drag it so that you can get to this bottom layer. Click that dot right there at the bottom. Click on the one on the right and highlight the proportionate thing and type in that 1230 and click on the layers menu, the layer, select, save and load, and add. Okay, and then click that shape tool again. Okay, and now you can do 3 layers swipe to erase, or you can click on the layer and just hit clear, because that does the same thing, clear. Okay, and you'll be glad to know that once you've set that up, we're doing that one time, and you don't have to do that repeatedly. You're doing it for this one size document. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use this as a template, so we don't want to mess this up because we just spent all that time setting it up. And let me tell you that if you, any design size measurement that you want to do, you do the same thing that we just did. You create all those same things, but the numbers are going to change, and all the numbers is half of the numbers that are in the boxes. So it's the same thing, it's just a different number. So anyway, so we're going to exit out. We're going to go back to the gallery. And now we've got this is going to be our template. So we're going to call this like Tumblr template. Okay, and then click away from it, and that we'll leave it. Now we're going to select that, hit select, click on that thing, and click on duplicate. And that way we won't sit there and mess up the thing we just created. And now you've got it all set up for the next time. So we're going to open up this document. Okay, I'm going to show you something that it might make it, you won't necessarily need to be able to see this, but it might make it easier to see. So we're going to click on here. We're on the wrench, and we're going to click on Drawing Guide and click on Edit Drawing Guide. And we're going to come over here to Symmetry, Options. We're going to put it on Quadrant. Okay, and we're going to turn off assisted drawing. I really don't want you to have assisted drawing on. I just want you to be able to see the lines. And you can make them as dark as you want, just so that you kind of have an idea where they are. You can make it whatever color you want too. It will do more like a blue kind of color. I'm going to do blue. Okay, and then hit done. Okay, now you can see our drawing guides. You want to make sure that when you click on this layer that it does not say assisted. If it does, you want to click on the layer and click on drawing assist and take that off, because it might say drawing assist, but you want to make sure it doesn't say assisted right here, because that does something totally different. We're not going to go over that right now though. We're just doing it so that we can have the quadrants on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, next thing I do is I have a special little brush that I like to use, my little tentacle brush that I fashioned after octopus tentacles, and I made it change with pressure. I made the size change with pressure, and I made the colors change as I use it. So anyway, I'm going to show you how I like to do stuff. So this is my octopus tentacles brush. So anyway, I'll just sit there and draw something in the middle. You want to go over these things, but you do not want to go over the edge. So don't come over here. Don't do that. I mean, you can draw on this line, just don't draw over here off the page. We want to stay away from the edges of the page. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw whatever it is your design is. And I like this because it makes things happen fast. And it's fun and colorful. And sometimes, so anyway, but I might just, I'm not going to necessarily do a pattern, but you just want some kind of something in the middle, whatever your pattern is going to be. So I'm just making something very colorful to begin with. And so now I am going to come over here to this layer, and I'm gonna add another layer. And in this layer, I'm gonna click it and I'm gonna fill that layer. And then I'm gonna make that layer invisible by clicking the checkbox. I need that layer to be filled from edge to edge, okay? So that when I flip things around, they will flip it around and keep it lined up. Because if I didn't, I'll have to show you in a little while what that does. So anyway, we have it like that. I want to swipe so that both of these are highlighted at the same time. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the shape tool up here, the S, and then click on save and load. And you'll see our handy dandy little menu. And we're going to click on selection one, arrow. And for each of these sections, you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to do each quadrant, horizontal, vertical. Then you're going to leave these selected. You're going to come back over to save and load again. The shape tool, save and load. Go back down to the second one, number 2. Click the arrow, horizontal, vertical. Going to go click off the shape tool, click back on the shape tool, save and load. Select selection number 3, arrow, horizontal, vertical. Click on the shape tool. Click the shape tool again, save and load. Selection number 4, arrow, horizontal, vertical. Okay, and then click the shape tool. Okay, so now everything that was in the middle is now on the outside, and the space in the middle is where the rest of your design goes. So whatever I do here, it's going to like meet up correctly as long as I don't go over the edges. And we will just do a little bit more of this kind of thing. Just kind of do something, just whatever you want to draw. I'm just playing. And I'll show you something else in a little bit. Okay, so we've got it like that, right? Well, you notice that I can't, I don't have anything drawn right on the edges, right in these little spots. I might want to fill that in too. So what I'm going to do here, I am going to, first I'm going to go click on the, oh, I'm sorry, I don't need to, it's already highlighted from when we highlighted earlier. So we just need to come over here to the shape tool, save and load. I'm going to click 7, which is going to grab this top layer, and then I'm just going to flip it vertically. And then I'm going to click the shape tool again. And I'm going to come back down here to save and load again. I'm going to click on 8, then click on the arrow, and click on the flip vertically, and click on the arrow. And look, now it's put that weird spot, those things that were on the outside edges that were up here, it put that space in the middle. So now I can just finish up that part of the design. And now I have got those edges on the corners. So I could do that thing where we flipped all 4 of the edges. I think that probably is what we ought to do. So let's do that. Save and load. Let's go back to 1, arrow, horizontal, vertically. Click on the selection tool, the shape tool, I'm sorry, and click on the shape tool again. Save and load. Let's do number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the easiest way to remember how to do it. So we're going to click on 2. We're going to click on the arrow, horizontal, vertical. Click on the shape tool. Click on the shape tool again. Save and load. 3, arrow, horizontal, vertical. Shape tool. Shape tool. Save and load. The last one, selection number 4. 1, 2, 3. Now we're on 4. So hit 4, hit the arrow, horizontal, vertical. And then click the shape tool so that it releases it. And then you can draw a little bit more. So I don't know if y'all are familiar with how to do other things here. So I'm going to show you how I test some patterns. We've got this showing up here. What I can do is I can click on this wrench and do add copy canvas and paste. And what that did is that solidified my drawing of the layer that's on the drawing with the background color. The background color is black, but if I unselect that layer so that you're looking at just this layer that we're on, you'll notice that if I unhighlight the background color, there's nothing behind there. See, you can see the grid all the way through it. So that background color, we could change the background color, whatever color we'd want to. You'd think that it'd be more colorful than it is. But anyway, you can do that however you want to. And that way is a way that you can switch the background color of your designs. Okay, so I'm going to undo it to where I get back to black. Okay. And I've got the design right here. I am going to click, oops, I'm going to click I'm going to click here, and then I was trying to get this to show up at the top, this little part at the middle of the screen. See the three dots? I'm clicking on that, and I'm going to hit split view. I'm going to open up my Safari window, and I'm going to click on seamless, this shortcut I have up here to amandagracedesign.com and her seamless pattern tester. That's what I like to use, her seamless pattern tester, because I can test half drops on her thing too. So I've got this open. If I come, oh, it's not going to like it. Shoot, I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh, the file's going to be too big. I wasn't even thinking about that. Anyway, you grab this and you drag it over here. Oh, it did. It took it. Good. That was lucky. Okay. I'm going to make this bigger, but you can see there shows you the repeating pattern. Okay, but I'm not liking the way that looked. So I'm going to swipe that back over here. I'm going to duplicate this because I want it. I think my colors were kind of faded. My brush wasn't as thick as I liked, so I don't think the colors were strong enough for me. Yeah. So anyway, I want it to look better than that. So I'm going to do that again. Copy canvas, paste. My brushes are set to be they're slightly transparent. So I'm going to go back over to Safari again, and I'm going to try this again and drag it with a better looking version of this. There, it has a little bit more color and looking a little bit better there. But you can see that, oh, this is low resolution. You can turn it on higher resolution. Oh, and at first it showed me that little line, but once you zoom in, you realize there's not a gap in my design. And it should be perfect, which it is for the gap. So no gap. But anyway, that's one thing I like to do, but I want to show y'all something else. Okay. So I'm going to delete that other thing. Okay, now that I've got this up here, I want to show you how I use Liquify. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. This is, okay, this is my copy of the screen with the black already in it. I'm going to delete this layer because I want a plain layer that doesn't have the black on it. I'm going to duplicate it a few times and then merge these together by squeezing them with my finger. Or you can click on it and tell it to merge layer down when you have them like that. Now that I've got it like this, I'm going to just duplicate the layer and then unselect that one. I'm going to go here to my, I don't know what the name of this is, but I'm going to call it the magic brush thing right here. The magic wand thing. And I'm going to come over here and I am going to go to Liquify. I like to use lots of different things in Liquify, and I'm going to change the size of this. I'm going to do push on this. And anyways, what I would do is zoom in here, and then I grab this stuff so I can like play with this a little bit. See, that's what's one thing I love about my those tentacle brushes. It lets me have something fun to start off with. I'm gonna undo those. But it has something fun to start off with at the very beginning. I'm gonna see what expand. Yeah, you can do expand. I'm not gonna do it quite so big, but you could do like expand. Just play with different things with this. And I like to use that liquefy and the push. I'm just going to kind of push these around a little bit. Um, the edge, what that does is that like pulls it one direction. Anyway, I like to play with these different effect kind of things and push it around and just, okay. So I've got like that. Okay. And you might wonder, how do you do stuff when you're having, when you've got something that's, how do you make something like this meet up, you know? So now that I've got it like this in the middle, I've tried hard not to get close to the edges. I don't want to affect the edges. I'm going to do that. I'm going to highlight both these layers because you need that filled layer highlighted when you're rotating things. Swipe them both to the right. Click on the shape tool. Save and load. Let's do the 1, 2, 3, 4 thing again. 1, arrow, horizontal, vertical, shape, shape, save and load. 2, arrow, horizontal, vertical, shape, shape, save and load. 3, arrow, horizontal, vertical, shape, shape, save and load. 4, arrow, horizontal, vertical, shape, shape. Okay, shape just once. Now that I got like this, now I can tell it liquefy again, and I can just like mess with the middle. And so even though the other is, I'm not really crazy about this. Sorry, y'all. This isn't the most interesting of my patterns, but um, oh well, it'll do for our purposes. I usually can come up with something better than this, but this is just kind of, today's not my day. I haven't been making these lately, so I can't even remember what I do. So just messing around and okay. So once I get that, if I go over here to I can change the background color if I wanted to. Get weird, make it more. Yeah, I kind of like it better without the black. I think I kind of like white better on it now. Anyway, the little lines you see right here, if you come back over here, I'm going to turn off our drawing guide, and you'll notice that we don't have those lines. You don't want lines like that. That means something's wrong with your pattern. When you see those and you're in Spoonflower, that's something's wrong with your pattern. You got to fix it. So I'm going to come over here, add copy canvas paste. That merges the layer I'm drawing on with the background layer so that we have something like this. And so I'm going to come over here and split view and drag it over to and see what if it'll do. Yeah, so anyway, this is not the greatest and most interesting thing, but oh well. But you get the point. So you understand that we're just trying to make a pattern. And it wants to, it's just glitching. The program's just glitching a little bit when we're doing stuff. It's not that it's doing the other. It's not messing it up. Anyway, but it's just the program that's putting that line right there. But anyway, that's it. That's how I use Procreate to do those kind of patterns. Oh, let me show you. Okay, since we're here, we might as well. I'm going to turn off that white background. I'm going to come back over here to my octopus brush. And I got it to where when I do different pressures, it does different things. That's probably why the other one did not look good at all. I just did it. I did not change things around at all. Okay, so this, let's do something. Let's doodling. Okay, so I'm going to highlight both those things again. This is how it's different for save and loads when you're doing a half drop pattern instead of a full drop pattern. When we do half drop patterns, we click the save and the shape tool, the save and load. We click the first side, like side 5, okay, 5, then arrow, then horizontal, vertical. We click on the shape tool, click on it again, click on save and load. Instead of 5, we're going to do 6. We're going to click the arrow, horizontal, vertical. Okay, now, oh wait, I'm so sorry. I did the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. You can go back, you can do undo, or you can go back to undo. Let's do that one more time. I'll start back with this screen again. So we've got them both highlighted. See how they're both highlighted in blue? We come over here to the shape tool, save and load. We do the first one, 5, click the arrow, horizontal, vertical. Okay, so we flip this whole side, but when we're doing a half drop, the ones on the left, they're going to be different. They're going to want to meet each other in half. So we're going to click the shape tool, save and load, and we're going to click 3, click the arrow, horizontal, vertical. Then we're going to click the shape tool. We're going to come back here to shape tool again, save and load. We're going to do 4, arrow, horizontal, vertical. You could just have done 3, 4, 5. That might make it easier to remember. So see how they're meeting up now, how this half on the right-hand side is no longer straight across from the other one. So now you just come in here and you fill in your design however you want to do. And what I really like about stuff like this is the larger you make it, the less the half drop repeating things shows up in things. So let's see, I'm going to duplicate this layer a few times because it's kind of see-through. Yeah, so now it's solid colors. Okay, now I'm gonna click my background color. I'm gonna put that black back in there. I like black better. And click the menu over here. Okay, I'm gonna shrink it back down. I'm gonna come over here to the wrench tool, do a copy canvas, and I'm gonna paste that. And after I paste it, I'm gonna click over here. Be sure not to click the other because you don't want to have shifted your whole design. We're gonna click on the background. Just tap on the background with your finger where the grid area is, and then you're going to click on those 3 dots at the top because we want to do a split view again. And we're going to open up that same pattern tester that we did a minute ago. And we're going to take this one and we're going to drag it over. And then over here, we're going to change the half drop. See, right now, it's not meeting up right because it's not on set for half drop. But if you set it for half drop, now, okay, it's showing the error, the lines, but that's just her software acting up. I'm going to do this. So now we've got an interesting pattern. Kind of interesting there. Anyway, that's how That's how I do this kind of stuff. Let's go back over here. I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, now that I did it that way, I'm going to duplicate this again. And this time I'm going to use the liquify. Oh, and I've got 2 layers. So that makes it more interesting. I really like playing with more than 1 layer. I think it makes it way more interesting. So we've got the background showing up. I'm going to make a copy of it so I can use it there. Also, something I like playing with is if you click here on the end, you can do things like this. This is color dodge. It does really interesting effects. It's looking and doing something based on the layer that's below it. Like screen light, I like to just mess with these things and see if there's any kind of interesting, something I like out of it. The pin light's kind of interesting the way it lets some stuff through, but it's not everything. It's kind of interesting. And I also, something else I like to do is I like to have a texture like, but I'd probably copy something from something I already did so I don't mess it up. I think that there might be, I like stuff like a denim texture or a canvas texture sometimes. Okay, this one's denim shader. Let's see what this looks like. This is white. On a new layer. Okay, so I might put that on there, and then I might take this and mess with the color dodge. I might just do this to add a different kind of texture to it. This something to make things interesting. I like adding texture stuff. And a lot of textures I have, actually, this is something that pattern that I bought. But let's see. I've got a lot of what I call Suzy textures. I've got things like I created my own little linen texture kind of thing. And I've done stuff like I do a lot of stuff from my hiking trips y'all saw me go on. I like to take textures like this one in there and incorporate stuff like this and make it more like collagey, you know. But when you do something like this, you got to keep in mind you're going to need to do stuff like in order to make sure that it meets up all over the place because it's going to be different at top and bottom. So I'm going to do this. We're on a half drop pattern, so I have to make sure the texture is also a half drop. So I'm going to click on there on the shape tool, the save and load, and I'm going to do that 3, 4, 5 again. 3, arrow, horizontal, vertical, shape tool, save and load, 4, arrow, horizontal, vertical, shape tool, save and load, 5, arrow, horizontal, vertical. So I just want to make sure it didn't leave anything weird in my along the quadrant lines, which it looks pretty good. It looks like it did fine. So if I didn't repeat now, it's going to look normal. It should be fine. Because we're not seeing any really weird things happening where they meet, which is kind of cool. I didn't know I had fixed that pattern, so I did that. Anyway, copy canvas, paste. And let's click in the background, then click the 3 dots, split view. Going to go back over there to Safari and pull that website again. I copied canvas and pasted it, and now I'm going to grab this again and drag it over. Let's go look at it and see what it looks like. Anyway, it's just different. Kind of a nice feel to it. Sometimes things will make a, sometimes I like creating stuff and then end up incorporating it into a different pattern. Like